Hello everyone, welcome to another video. So today we're going to learn how to sketch a quadratic graph in this form. This is what we call the perfect square form or the completed square form. Okay, so as with all quadratic graph, we still have the same amount of things that we need to figure out. Just that because of this form, the procedure is a bit different from the other version where we have two brackets times together. Okay, so let's start with the same thing, the shape. So it's similar. So if you look at the in front of this bracket square, there's no negative here, which means it's going to be U-shape. Okay, so if it's negative, it's going to be set face. So next thing, y-intercept. So same thing, y-intercept is always going to be sub x equals 0. So I'm going to sub this equal to 0. So I'm looking at -1 square, which gives me 1 minus 4. So that'll be minus 3. So the y-intercept is going to be minus 3. So it's 0, minus 3. So for this form, I tend to skip this one because sometimes we don't need to find because the graph doesn't cut the x-axis. So instead, I'm going to go for the last one first, the minimum and the maximum point. Now, one of the advantage of this form is that I can literally see the minimum point straight away. And the minimum point in this case will be 1, minus 4. Now I'm not going to go through why because I think we'll do this in class, but the 1 comes from when I let this bracket equals 0, so 1 minus 1 is 0, so that's where the 1 comes from. And then the minus 4, it comes from here, exactly the same number here, the whole number including the minus sign. So what we do now is I want to plot this 1 minus 4 first. Okay, so again I'm trying to do it proportionately, so maybe this time around I'm going to be 1 cm. Okay, so 1 cm, so this is going to be 1. So maybe the 4 will be somewhere here. Okay, it doesn't have to be always two scales like that. And since I know it is a minimum point, again I'm going to draw a minimum point. Now if you understand minimum point, you know that the line of symmetry will always cut the minimum point. So actually I already have the line of symmetry. It's at 1. So that will be x equal to 1. So this is actually just x equal to 1. Again, you can see from this number straight away. Okay, it's the same number. Okay, so now if you look at the situation here, we have a minimum point. It has to go up, right? So definitely we're going to cut somewhere. Exactly where, I'm not sure. But I know that I'm going to cut minus 3. So it's going to be somewhere here. It cannot be cutting here. So it won't be like going up for sure. So I'm just going to just draw it. Okay, it doesn't really matter where I cut it, as long as it's a negative number, it's fine. Most importantly, the shape must look nice. Okay, so this point will be 1, minus 4. So I got the minimum point down. Since we are at it, we might as well label the graph. Okay, so I've labeled the graph. I'm literally just short of these two numbers. Okay, so how do I do it? It actually is the same thing. So what x-intercept, I'm going to sub y equals 0. Okay, so it's 0 equal to x minus 1 square minus 4. So actually it's over here. I wrote it down already. So now we need to solve for x. That means I need x equals something. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move the minus 4 over. Okay, so I like to write the x on the left side. So I'm going to do this equal to 4. Now to get the x out, I need to square root both sides. So this is actually the same steps as solving equation by computing the square, right? So we've done this before earlier. So when I'm going to square root both sides. So if I square root, the square disappears, and then if I square root 4, it's going to be 2 or minus 2 because square root got two numbers, right? So after that, I'm going to move the minus 1 to the right side because I want x only, right? So I'm looking at x, so it's 2 plus 1, so it's 3. And then it's minus 2 plus 1. So it's minus 1. So the two numbers are 3 and minus 1. So this will be 3. This will be minus 1. Okay, so with that, the whole graph is done. So hope you've learned something. Thank you and bye-bye.